Good evening and welcome to Modern Spiritualist Today. How are you, my lovely Hazel Firefly?
I am ready for a week off.
Oh, you don't get a week off. You don't get those benefits. You'll have to talk to your boss lady. She's very hard on you.
Oh, no, I'm going to change my working hours a bit and finish a bit earlier in the evenings, I think.
That works. That works.
Because
Good evening, Miss Brenda.
working till midnight every night, I think
It
it's a
can
bit
get you
beyond.
toasted.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can get you toasted, especially if you're starting earlier in the day and you
yeah,
needing some space and refueling your well. I was talking about this yesterday on Second Lit Plans that you've got to have activities that refill your well.
yes,
Otherwise, you just burn out. Um,
definitely.
so anyhow, I guess I've set the industry a storm.
I know you bloody troublemaker.
I have for a very long time explained that I've been in the networking industry for more than 30 years.
Yeah,
Okay. So with that, that makes me one of the oldest people still in the game, still dealing with networks, seeing it all. They've yet to impress me with something fascinating within the past 5 years. And we have a lot of industry changes going on. Like our markets are exploding. We've got the Asian market is totally untapped. The African market is becoming even larger than what it was because there's the expansion of the internet. Thank
yes,
you, whoever done Starlight. Um, so that makes us into a wider market. And our industry changed a lot. But you know what hasn't changed? We've never had industry reports. We've
no,
never had industry predictions.
no.
So I
And
decided to do it.
I also think that we haven't had industry goals as such.
Hmm. Right,
Whereas most companies have goals.
right.
We don't see any of that.
Well, we don't see any of that because we're not employees, so they don't want to share anything with us that way.
True,
You know,
true.
I'm getting a little pushback on the pricing, but I surveyed over 250 psychics per minute price and found the high, which is $53 a minute, and the low, which is $1.99.
53, that's just disgusting.
Let me give that into a number you can chew on.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Brenda.
41.38 pounds sterling.
Oh, I wouldn't pay it.
Well, I know you wouldn't pay it, but would you charge it?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I think, as we've spoken about so many times before, if somebody comes to you for a reading, they're looking
Hmm.
for help.
Hmm.
Our service have got to be available for people with or without money.
True. But at the same time, we deserve a fair exchange.
We do, but then I don't want to be thinking and feeling, it's probably just me. I'm feeling guilty thinking I'm taking advantage of vulnerable people.
Right. And I don't think that you are. I mean, I recently raised my rates to $9.99 a minute. Why? Because that is the premier average.
Yeah, yeah.
No, does that bunker my mind? Yes. Am I actually bringing home that $9.99 per minute? No.
No, no. I think everybody would be shocked if they realized how much the networks withdraw from us.
Well, let's tell the truth on it. I have no problem talking money. Give me a minute.
No, I haven't either.
All right. Do, 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 do. So you call me on my 11 relationship listing. Uh, am I getting a 404? All right. So the client pays $9.99 per minute. The platform takes 40 cents per minute in a platform fee. It takes $5.18 in commission. You pay, I earn $4.41.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous when you look at how hard we work.
Mm-hmm. And then if you take that 441 and you look at what you pay on like for an appointment with me.
Yeah.
It's just $20 more for on demand. I was earning less per minute on my demand services, which should cost more.
Yeah.
Than I was on my appointments.
I try and keep all my readings. I think my most expensive one is £25 for 20 minutes.
Let me translate that. Okay, so $32 per reading.
Yeah.
And I'm at 49.
But that is for that's only that price because that's a Skype reading or a video call. Because
Right.
I'm really funny with, like, my home is my home.
Right.
And you know where my office is.
Right. It's at the foot. She has the Harry Potter office, guys.
I do.
But, with that, however, I have overhead. And this is things that people don't consider. There's credit card pricing. There's credit card processing fees in there. There's the phone or internet service, which I have to pay for corporate internet. I have to pay for corporate, Zoom. And my cell phone's $600 a month for the international calling and all that involved. So still, if we take out all those fees, we're charging about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have international calling free with my network. So whereas you've got that big mobile bill, my mobile bill is only, I think it's £80 a month.
Right.
So when you weigh it up in pros and cons, you've got slightly more outgoings. But I think what people don't realise is we've still got to pay for our rent or mortgage because that is our working properties. Because if we had to hire somewhere else to work, our outgoings would be even more.
Exactly. And I have a personal assistant. I have to feed him and pay him. So, and this is the thing that as people don't get is as your operation gets bigger, you have to start hiring help. You can't do it all. You either have to enable automatic systems. Like I used to have a person that totally took care of booking my appointments and billing my clients and processing billing. I replaced them with a system.
Yeah.
And it was a lot easier.
The thing is as well, our gas and electric bills, because we work from home, are sky high. Because we use more because we work from home.
Well, not only that, but we fight every year to keep the equipment cool.
Yes.
Like the winter, it isn't the problem. The summer is where we run into real problems, is keeping the equipment cool, keeping the computers, they can't get overheated. If it's over at 80 degrees in your home, then your computer is going to work slower, harder, and cause more problems.
And because I'm on Apple, if mine goes, I think, is 75%, it'll come up with a warning to say we need to close your device down for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can't win either way.
Well, you can. It's just these are things that go into our business. But what I found interesting is nobody, like real estate. I mean, heck, there's even reports on gas prices and egg prices over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
There wasn't one on our industry. So I've pivoted and said, you know what? I can create this. I've got the data. I've got the insight. I can create this. And I'm very surprised by the response I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, one person was commenting about price, and I'm like, you're in Midland. That's about mid-range price.
Yeah.
And then our network ate it alive. They're like, oh my God, someone actually done this? So it's like, yeah. Look for more stuff.
And it's crazy because our industry is growing,
Mm-hmm.
but our networks are not putting in the work to allow us to grow.
Well, I think it's 2020 was the last income report I had. It was a $12 billion industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That no one's paying attention to.
No.
And I think the networks are doing the best they can with what they have. But it's like herding cats to get us all on the same page, get us all intent. We have the ones that don't want to share their faces, don't want to do this, don't want to get up and put on makeup, which I don't get. Get up in the mornings, you get a shower, you throw your face on, you go out the door. Wouldn't you do that anyways?
Now, I look at that in a different way,
Okay.
Coming from a female's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if a female comes to you for a reading,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing they want to see is 3 inches of slap on your face.
Right.
And looking $1 million.
Right.
For the simple reason, and now I don't know if the ladies in the audience will agree with me.
Right.
This will be a good conversation. If you've got somebody that's feeling shit, that's cried all night,
Mm-hmm.
then they come in for a reading with a female that looks like that,
Right.
you're going to make them feel even more shit. That's the way I think about it.
See, but that is a different skill. Like, honey, this is makeup.
This is natural. You've only ever seen me with makeup once, and that was when you told me, will you get that fucking photo done before the time runs out?
Right. But point being is, like, it's part of my everyday. I get up, I get my breakfast, I get a shower, I dry my skin, I cleanse my skin, I put my makeup on, I put on makeup to look natural, and we move on our day. From my perspective.
Yeah.
In the, we'll go, we'll say a gender bend. What the hell? Oh, depends on their look. A natural look, and they look approachable and nice, then I'd be okay. And that's the point, is natural look.
Yeah.
Not glam city. I don't put on 3 layers of eyeshadow and glitter and all that. And like, nobody walks out of their house except Jeffree Star when he has to go do a shoot, and that level of makeup.
I think it's the way I think more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to look natural because so many times a client will come to you and say, I feel shit, I haven't even brushed my hair.
Right.
Well, and I'm
brush your hair.
I'm like, you want to see mine? Half the time I'm running down the stairs with a cup of coffee because I'm late to start work. It's natural things in life.
Exactly. But I swear, these women act like, and men too, men are worse.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel like they can, spiffy up and grab some foundation and some bronzer and get the hell over with it. They do this whole, I don't want to get dressed for work. Then what are you wearing all day?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just gets me.
I think as well, it's about people seeing the natural side of things, because then that gives them confidence.
Right. Oh, we've stirred some comments.
We have. But
All
this is what
right.
it's about. It's good to see.
Exactly. Brenda says, if I feel like hell and looked at it, I'd be skeptical of getting a reading from someone who looked the same.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
That
And
really
then,
is.
Shannon says, I don't care because I'm always tired. And I grew up in my early 20s about makeup and whatnot. That there are those days I barely get out of bed. And that's fine.
Do you know, if you knew how many days of the week I sat here working in my PJs.
I make it a very strong goal not to. And here's why. I find that if I'm working in my PJs, I don't feel as well.
See, and that's strange because to me, I feel more comfortable working in my PJs. Mm-hmm. But that also could be because I'm going through the change.
Right.
So I feel more confident in PJs because I can just like.
Right. Now, granted, I dress for comfort. My summer uniform is shorts and a t-shirt. My winter uniform is normally like some form of pants and a t-shirt and possibly a hoodie. Like I have a hoodie collection that's famous. But anyhow, those are what I dress in. But when people, and anytime video is brought up, they start bitching about having to get ready. And I'm like, what do you live in? How stinky are you? These are comments I want to make in these forums that I can't do because, we can't be nice. That's attacatory. But these are hard questions.
Yeah. I will say to a client, and I got no qualms of saying it, give your head a wobble and give yourself a kick up the arse, because that's what you need to do. I got no issues with saying that at all.
I don't either. I also don't have issues with saying, you have to put your self-care first.
Yeah.
Because anytime we go through stress, breakups, family issues, family situations, financial situations, self-care goes out the goddamn window, and it's like, go get that damn shower, go get that hair, do your hair, do your makeup.
Oh, hello, Guna. Sorry, I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, hi, Guna. Shannon was blessed with thick hair and nice skin, but I'll be damned if I'm going to go do makeup and sweat it off. That's where you put on. All right, we'll talk about that later.
And that's why one of the reasons why I had my hair cut short.
Exactly.
As well as it falling out due to the age thing.
Right.
And it just took so much time in the mornings to do, and that's time I haven't got.
Exactly, and I keep going shorter. Like, I'm sorry, I used to have my hair down to my waist. It took me 2.5 hours to get it washed, dried, set, and sprayed.
Yeah.
And that's like, or throw it, or it lived in a ponytail and a clip. I don't have time for any of that anymore.
No.
My hair dryer was getting itself put into overtime. Now I barely use it.
Yeah. And that's what I like about short hair. Like, I'll have a shower, I'll rub my hair and put it up in like a turban thing, which keeps all the moisture there. And then I'll come down, make a coffee, and I know I'm ready to start my day.
Exactly. So I don't understand when they're so fearful of videos. I also don't understand when they're so fearful of VR. Like, I love virtual reality.
Of what?
Virtual reality.
Oh, is that game you play with the Xbox?
Well, I don't use the Xbox. I use the computer. But yeah, Second Life is virtual reality.
I played that with Sean. Now, I'm not a little woman. I'm far from it. And he said, Mum, try this on. So I said, what am I going to do? He said, you just got to move your arms.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays it on, I think it's his PS5. And there was this
Mm-hmm.
shark coming towards me.
Uh-huh.
I was screaming like a bitch.
Well, could you imagine, I have the Second Life, with Second Life, it's a different game than what you played, but it's like Sims or everything else. I have a store there. You can go there, book a reading with me. I can do a reading right there in world, wherever you're at.
So, yeah.
I even have a virtual deck of cards that shuffles. It's amazing. Imagine that on a network level.
Yeah. Yeah.
To where the client comes in their VR, in their virtual, in their metaverse, whatever they look like in a metaverse.
Yeah.
Sit down. We do a whole reading. They get up. Money gets tossed into my account, my box beforehand because they paid the network for the session.
Yeah.
We're done. No packing the car or coming to my office or it's you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's our next level.
I think it's going to have to be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you feel, now this is going to probably ruffle some feathers,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel that we've been left behind in a way?
I think
in the way of technology?
I think that we are way behind in the way of utilization of technology.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't get the right words.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It's like they're so fearful of AI, and I'm like, please, let me stop writing a check for a personal assistant. Let me stop having to write the email. Hi, I'll be on at 11 p.m. I look forward to talking to you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to replace it. It's going to cut down on all the other stuff that doesn't bring us money.
I suppose we are a bit ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't use checks at all.
No, chat bots.
Oh,
AI.
Right,
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, we just, the AI can sit there and get the client's name, birthday, all that information, and it'd be ready for us. Like the first question has their name, their birthday, the question, all the information we need, and we can go right into making that connection.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or, answering questions about, so what type of reading do you do? What type of reading would you recommend for this situation? When are you going to be on doing live readings? When are you, hey, I've got 2 free minutes. Can I set up a call with you? All that we have to do on the administrative side.
Yeah.
Can you imagine an AI just taking care of it for us?
I've got mixed feelings about that, though.
Go for it. Share them.
Because I feel then I'm taking away. I don't know how to explain it. Then it's not. It's still a personal reading, but it's not the personal side coming from me to the client.
No. The AI doesn't do any of the reading.
No, that's what I mean. Like when I connect with somebody, the first thing I like out of their mouth is their name and date of birth, because that's part of how I connect. But with AI, I wouldn't get that
for you.
I wouldn't get that vibe from them.
Well, what I'm saying about that, the way I envision it, is how Fortunica gives us the message.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And we normally spend the first 2 minutes, typing to the client responding by giving us that information.
Yeah.
Instead, AI would already present that information for you and then bring the client in to the chat then.
Right. I get what you mean now. Yeah. Yeah.
So it saves the client almost 2 minutes of time and us typing, hi, how can I help you? Well, what's your name and date of birth? Well, what is his name and date of birth? What's your first question today?
But then we are cutting our own noses off to spite our faces.
Debatable. And this is where I say the debatable is. I can service say 20 clients in the current ecosystem that we're in.
Yeah.
If I have something else taking care of all that for me, I can service 50 clients.
I think that's where we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Okay.
Because I like that personal.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps that's just the way I've read as such.
Right.
And
right.
I like that personal touch. Because if I went, and this is, I think of it from a client's point of view.
Right.
If I went for a reading,
Mm-hmm.
a personal reading,
Mm-hmm.
and all that info was asked beforehand, I
Mm-hmm.
would feel unsure if
Mm-hmm.
whoever's doing that reading will see that information before the reading time and then go and research me on Facebook.
No, it's instantaneous. Like,
But
you don't get that.
From a client's point of view, I'm looking at it as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Right.
I wouldn't be, I've really got mixed reviews about that way.
Right. But, there would be no space in that time.
Mm.
Okay. It would be like you going to the doctor office and you have to fill out a form before you see a doctor. And the doctor looks at the form and then begins your visit.
I don't know, I got mixed reviews about it.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see actually what happens there. But do I think that AI, there's this big thing of, oh my God, AI is going to replace psychics? No, they're not.
No.
They can't do it.
No. Oh, God. It's okay, ladies. We just have to, as I was coming into the meeting, the baby's mum messaged me and said he's had avocado for tea and now they're putting him on solids constantly.
Ooh. All right. But, example, you're not going to be able to research somebody that fast to get that information.
I suppose it's just me and the way I see it because of I've had readings in the past.
That suck.
And yeah. And you know exactly what they've told you. They have found out offline.
Well, no, what they tell me is bullshit. The number of times I'm going to meet a blonde female and marry them, I've about died laughing. Like, yes, little man is growing up. Because it's like, none of my husbands are blonde. Both of them are redheads. Neither one's got feminine energy. You're so off base, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And do not recommend hiring.
I'm really, how can I put it? Because I look at it from both points of view, because I think that's how I look at it, as me being old-fashioned, perhaps. I look at it as how I would like to be treated as a client.
Well, think about it this way. If we merged worlds, if we took the Fortunica interaction state and brought it to Life Reader, so that when that chat window opened up, you had everything you needed to start that reading.
Don't work for me.
Because you're thinking of the 2 minutes.
No, because that's part of my tuning in process. If that is there for me when I'm on Life Reader, that shuts me down.
Okay.
The same as if a client copy and pastes their question to me, I can't read from because it's rude.
Okay.
Because that's part of my, I suppose we all tune in different ways.
Right.
But for me, that's a massive part of my connection straight away.
Right. But I can understand your point of view. Yeah, everyone reads a bit differently. Everyone needs that time to connect. for me, if I got the information beforehand, great, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, the birthday's at 5, shuffle 5 times, let's go. Hi, Veronica, nice to see you today. Let's take a look and see what John's up to.
Yeah. But then, if we all worked the same, there wouldn't be any uniqueness with us.
Exactly. And that's the other part of this report, is looking at the importance of personal branding, which isn't occurring right now in the industry with many people.
No, it's not.
It's not. You can't find and this is the thing that clients are doing, and networks have yet to realize that they're doing this. They will go and look and see Aeson Night on Keen. They'll hop over to Google and Google me before they even go back to contact me on Keen. There are many other places to contact me on. They'll go back to Keen because that's where they have their account at. But they want to see what I'm doing, what my political views are, what I had for dinner.
And I think that's part of I'm a great believer in work and private life should be kept separate.
Right.
And I think that's a part of our private life that shouldn't be published, for the respect of we have our own lives as well. Same as a doctor.
Right.
A doctor wouldn't have all their private life published because they work in their work capacity.
Well, see, that's just it. Like, I've had to deal with doctors that were not agreeable to my lifestyle. I've had to deal with doctors that were problematical human beings. I Google my doctor.
See,
every doctor I get sent, I do. I want to know if I'm dealing with, okay, clear facts, polyamorous, gay, psychic. I don't want a doctor that's Southern Baptist.
I've got different views on that as well.
Well, and here's why. It's because it's going to affect my health care. It affects your health care.
I disagree.
Really? Here's what I mean by that. If you are a younger female and you are going to a doctor that had a staunch belief against birth control or anything of those matters, women's natural health care, here there are women in their 30s begging for hysterectomies. And doctors going, nope, you've not had children yet.
I disagree with that. It's not like that over here at all. It's really not. I've never had any issues with being gay. I've never had any issues in school of being a gay parent. The one time I did, and I was teaching at the time, I asked the head teacher to have a meeting with the whole school's parents. And I sat down and I had a meeting with them because they were afraid that I was going to push what they said was my gay traits onto their children.
Which is ridiculous.
Once I'd explained that, look, my two kids, they haven't got no issues with it. If people ask me questions, I will answer you the best I can in a truthful way. And that was fine. But we have no issues with anything like that.
See, we do. I mean, even, simple issues like PCOS.
Polycystic ovaries. Do you know what, Shannon? You know that Monday I was off? Because it's come up in conversation now. I got no problem telling you. I actually went into hospital for that operation. I was out the same day. And that's what I mean. Like, we got different views because we've got different situations.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and that's where controlled social media comes in. And that's logical control. Like, I have a private Facebook, but I also have my public stuff. And I share public stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same time, I make sure that I represent what I represent.
Yeah. I've got my two Facebooks. I got my one Facebook for work,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got my one Facebook for my friends back home.
Right.
My private
Mhm.
life then.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is, anyone that's a public figure needs to have a friendsgram and a public gram. My point with that is in our industry, we have people going, oh, I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And it's like you're hurting yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or having, profiles that are like, on one place you're Mary, on the other place you're Doreen, on another place you're Doreen. There's no continuity to a career base there.
If you think about it, there's only a very, very small number of people who have seen Parker from my work profile.
Right.
But everybody on my private profile have seen him because I post on there. Yeah.
Right. But that's, and it's like my rule about I don't post when I'm at an event on family time until after that event's done.
Yeah.
After I'm out, because I don't want to deal with your boyfriend that was cheating like a little dog, coming up and yapping at me because, I caught his ass better than you did. But that ain't the point. The point on that being is allowing advisors to have branded profiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Branded information out there will enable more client satisfaction, more personability, more of that's my psyche. Oh, you're reading, Daring to Lead. I'm having to figure out how to lead. I know I can go contact you and talk to you about this.
Yeah. I have a lot of clients because the people in Wales, they prefer emails.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do an email reading, and then they'll come back to me like a month later and say, have you got that email? I've deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, because soon as I've sent your reading out to you, I delete that email for safety reasons.
Right. I mean, because we deal with very sensitive data.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping to do over here on Medium is to bring up industry conversations.
Yeah.
Industry information. I see so many psychics burning out when they could be hiring a VA and literally paying like $40 a month for a VA.
Yeah.
It works maybe 2 hours a week. That all they do is they handle the social media content.
Yeah.
All they do is like post your schedule and deal with a little, and it brings in a better life balance because we have so many psychics that are burning the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I've got my calendar in front of me. And because I do the platforms, and you've got to have that certain amount of stability on what time you log on and what time you log off because of your clients. So I've got my calendar in front of me, and every time somebody says to me, can I have a reading on, say, Friday, I'll check my calendar, it's empty, so I'll say yes and book them in. But I won't book any readings in for a Saturday night because that's when I have Parker. That's my time with him.
Right.
I've lost 2 clients about it, but tough shit, my family come first.
Right. But on the other side of that, that's all busy work that you're having to do that can an automated system can do.
True. But, and the other thing is, this is my fault. I'm not techie minded like that either.
Well, you're not, but these are things that can be employed.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like instead of building it, it's already there.
Yeah.
And there are so many people out there that are just like burning out on the administrative side. And that's why you see psychics say, don't produce content. You know, you get an email from them once every 6 years. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do you keep in contact with your clients?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just go with the flow with them.
I know you do.
I suppose, and that's the other thing, we all adapt our own way of working.
Mm-hmm. We do.
And again, that comes down to what makes us unique in what we do.
Exactly. You know, I like things more quickly prepared. I read at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
You know, networks fuss at me all the time. You need to slow down. And it's like,
No.
do I?
No.
My clients say otherwise. My clients say they don't want to hear, all right, I'm shuffling the cards now. Okay, I've laid out 3 cards for you. These are the 3 cards in their definitions. Now let's get back to your question.
See, no, I don't do that either.
Yeah.
I'll ask them for their name and date of birth. We've got to do that by law just
Right.
to cover ourselves. And then I'll ask what their question is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kathy is saying, right, come on, start shuffling. So I'm like, right, after 30 seconds, if you can tell me to stop. I never, ever tell them what cards I've pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Because each card has different meanings for each reading.
Right.
So I will go straight into the tangent then and just type away. Even though I've been told that I type too quick, my argument is they pay enough to use the lines. I don't want to waste their money.
Right. And see, for me, when I look at their birthday, that tells me how quick. Like, I don't ask them to tell me to stop after 30 seconds or whatever. I look at their birthday, add it up quickly, and then shuffle whatever their number is. Like, their life pipe number's 3. You're getting 3 shuffles.
Yeah.
The other side of that is for me, is like, I find it useless information.
Yeah.
Like, do you care? The ones listening here, do you care which you want? A bunch of useless definitionated information that anyone can copy and paste online? Or do you want the answer to your damn question?
Yeah. The amount of people that say to me, you don't beat around the bush. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I'm not wasting my energy and I'm not wasting your money.
Exactly. And there are clients that don't get that. There are clients that are trained so hard to come in and to stonewall a psychic and make it difficult, and that they need every card and definition, and they will waste minutes. And when we're saying minutes,
that's so true.
Yeah. You know, Shannon says, answer my question. I don't need my money wasted. Depending on if you want me to roll my eyes at you, or do you want me to refer people to you, which is important.
Yeah.
You know,
word of mouth is the best
advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The other part is showing that we're really humans.
Yeah.
Especially as we adventure into metaverse, we need to make sure that they know that we are not bots.
I remember reading for this really posh CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And it was his wife. He had referred her to me. She had lost her dog and she was really low with it. And he was saying to me, I can't understand why she's like that. I said, because a dog is like a child. And that's why she's... So I was in the middle of the reading and I knocked my cup of coffee all over my cards.
You gave him a good bath.
Without realising it, I went, oh, for fuck's sake. And she turned around and she went, thank fuck for that. I've been trying not to swear throughout your reading. You know, we make mistakes the same as everybody else. We're normal.
Well, that's what I get is like, I don't get people that are like, don't swear, you know, you can't swear in a reading. Bullshit. You can't do this, you can't do that. Bullshit. The only thing I care about in a reading is you talk to me.
Yeah.
I need, like, if I'm looking at something, I'm going, well, I'm looking at an office building. You're going, there isn't a damn office building on this island. I need to know that I'm looking at a hotel that looks like an office building.
Yeah. Unlike Frida, they don't like us swearing.
Oh,
So
then get over it.
I cover my own back. I say, right, I'm gonna do it. And one of my regulars says, go on then. I say, he's a fucking twat. And she says, yep, I agree with you. I said, no, you can't report me because I asked for your permission beforehand. And I always say, I'm about to say a naughty word, please forgive me. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Because then if they go back to management and complain, we have told them it's coming, so they can't say anything.
You know, I've never filtered my language. Granted, I don't cuss like a sailor unless it's really a situation of cussing like a sailor is needed. But I find, and especially with UK people, y'all guys use curse words faster than anything.
Oh, I swear like a trooper. And I'm the first one to hold my hands up and say I am. I could probably give the sailor a run for his money.
Very much so. See? Curse like a sailor.
Yeah.
And and that's now become English.
That's part of our language because
exactly
most of those swear words are now actually in the dictionary.
About damn time.
Like
no. And
no, go on, sorry.
And it's like, okay, so if you're going in and you're dealing with, and I've made this statement before, each market is different.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each situational market is different. What I mean by that is like that Asian market's very different. It's a very different style of reading. It's a very different style of connection. If we're dealing with the Indian market, we have to have ideas of what that culture is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where, like if somebody comes to us with a name, I'm not sure of what part of the world it comes from. I always say, please forgive me. Like I read for somebody tonight, they were looking for an Asian partner. But I didn't see an Asian partner being there. So the way I approached that was, please forgive me, I don't know the correct term, but I see somebody with a darker skin tone, but not an Asian skin tone. Because as well as that, we've got to think of the right dialogue to use because the laws change so much on the colour of skin, sexuality. We've got to cover ourselves to make sure we don't say the wrong thing and have our asses sued off us.
Well, not only that, but there's also different cultural things going on there.
Yes.
Okay. And what I mean by that is like I'll get a client and they're like, who will I marry? Jana, Dave, Voce, Shia Khan, a list of names there, and I'm like, I see no fucking connection with any of these people.
No.
Well, these were the ones the matchmaker presented to me and said that would be great astrological for me. Okay. So you've not talked to any of these? Your parents hasn't interviewed any of these?
No.
No, we're waiting for the matchmaker to set those meetings up. And I'll tell them point blank. Looking at it, I don't feel any of these options are the right option for you. Go back and make them review other options.
Yeah. And one of the hard things we both have to face now as well is a lot of the Indian religions don't like their children divorcing. And we see that it's happening more and more.
Right. But on the other side of that, their divorce is different. Like there are two different stages of the divorce. They sometimes have an Irish divorce. And it's becoming more of an Irish divorcing society. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's where they divorce. He goes and lives his life. She goes and lives her life. But they never did the legal divorce. They never did the religious divorce.
Right. I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got you. Now, over here, we call that legal separation.
Right. Because divorce in the UK, and especially in Ireland, didn't hit till like the 80s.
No, it was about that time.
Yeah,
So what you've just explained to us, we call legal separation,
right.
because that is a big thing over here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then she wants to see our conversations.
Uh-huh. But
But then,
anyhow,
that's the other thing, because religions change so much. We've got to
Mhm.
be aware all the time of the changing eras and the
Right.
changing prospects of what's going on.
Right, and the change in language.
Yes.
Because an arranged marriage in India is very different than an arranged marriage in Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, an arranged marriage in India means the parents pick the mates, they run it through an astrologer, like they do all their homework.
Yeah.
Whereas an arranged Muslim marriage in Canada, the family sit down and negotiate the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't know which one you're dealing with, it's a very different dichotomy.
Yeah.
One is based on love, but it's like, we're covering business first.
Yeah. Because
The other
that's
is
all an
based
arranged
on,
marriage is a business deal.
right. The Indian one is, we're covering business, and you guys can form the love part afterwards.
Yeah. So even though we readers, we've still got to look in the right dialogues that we use as well.
Right. No.
Because the last thing we want to do is offend one of our clients by using the wrong dialogue for them.
Right. And the other, but also we have to understand it so that we understand what we're looking at.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, if we're looking at two fathers sitting down to set up a marriage, that could look like a manipulative situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when it's an arranged marriage in Canada, there's no turning back once those families have met.
Right. But the love relationship starts first. Which in
I don't
India,
agree.
it's very much so. Like they meet for a love, but if they want to take the relationship to a marriage point, the families have to negotiate that. It's not like in India where it's like choosing people.
I feel it's more of a business deal.
It is very much a business deal. Well, marriage in itself has always been a business deal.
But I see it being a business deal before the love comes into it.
Sometimes, but that's more in other like I've seen it both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But they both have the same stages.
Yeah.
It's just where's the love start?
Over here, now I don't know if you have them over there, but over here we actually have part of the police force.
Mm-hmm.
This might come as a shock if you haven't got it over there. We've got part of the police force that actually work in arranged marriages for people that don't want to be in that marriage anymore because it was specifically arranged. So they will go in and get the person out.
Yeah,
if it's
we
the
don't
lady
have that.
or the man. Yeah. And this is why these podcasts are good, because we see how different things work for different countries as well.
Right. Dude, we're talking arranged marriages. I can tell you how some knowledge on those attempts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, up until probably the late 1900s, all marriages were arranged in one form or another.
I think in the olden days it was.
Yeah.
Because people lived in villages more then, and they didn't have the transport to go out to meet other people.
Right.
So you met Joe Bloggs down the pub, and then Joe Bloggs brought his cousin who you got on with, and then you got married.
Right. But what's even more interesting, and let's take this into today's times, more advanced times.
Yeah.
I was consulting with a client earlier, and his family is helping him choose his mate that's also male.
See?
And I'm like, okay, so who's getting the horse and the cow? Jokingly with him. And he's like, well, I have a salvage dowry, and so does he.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so this has just progressed into another level.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas they have, now I don't know if this is the same with you as well, whereas they have dowries, when I started dating the ex-husband, as soon as I started dating, my nan used to buy things every week and put in our bottom drawer. For when I moved out, I would have all new bedding, all new sheets and things like that.
Yeah. Hope chest.
It's crazy how different things work in that way, sort of thing.
But it's still the same. You walked into that marriage with your own assets.
And I ran out having a party.
Oh, yeah, very much so. But, these are the things that, people don't think of. And nobody in the industry is talking about these different dichotomies of, they sell this whole love and relationship, soulmate, and twin. Nobody talks about the real shit.
And that's really interesting what Shannon have just put.
Tried to pair up their kids. We weren't allowed to talk to anyone else, and that was the unrelated opposite sex. And when they tried to turn certain ages, we were told we had to get married. Guess who'd make sure to be a nightmare daughter-in-law?
That's all right. They just kicked Shannon out of the church.
We'll take her. But no, that's very much common in certain Christian religions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how all religions have different ways of doing things.
But it's the same stuff when we boil it down to the water.
Yeah. We all come into the world naked, we all leave the world naked.
And the rest
and it's what's in between that makes that story.
Very much so. All right, my dear. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I sure have.
I have. It's really interesting how we can have a conversation and have agreements and disagreements. But that's part of a good podcast and part of a good debate.
It is. And our audience participation. Don't forget, guys, if you're listening on StreamYard, you can go down in that little comment section. If you're watching this afterwards, you can go down that little comment section. And we normally reply within 2 to 3 searches. So you do need to subscribe and follow. But we'll comment back to you.
Oh, really, Sean? You've got to go that one step too far.
Nah, she done right. We won't read it so that we don't get banned on, but I like her point of view. All right, honey. So when and where are you working?
I'm on Fortunica and Life Reader from about 8 a.m. till about 12, and then from 3 till 12.
Okay.
Every day this week.
Okay. And
yourself?
I'm on all the platforms. So, Fortunica, Zodiac Keen, Click for Advisor, Bob's Best American, Wispy Psychic, and of course, private appointments. And I'm working a lot of normally around 3 in the afternoon until about 3 in the morning.
Oh, see, I'd be snoring my head off by then.
I get my best sleep in the early morning hours, so I'm taking advantage.
Oh, God. No, it's not normal. I always said you was a bit strange.
I live in the wrong time zone. I have convinced myself of that. Like
Oh,
we need to, work on getting Aeson moved to Australia because I've in SL. There's most of my friends are Australian, and then
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's morning time here." As I'm waking up, and I'm like, "I am in the wrong time zone."
See,
Ship
no
me to
helping some
Melbourne,
people.
please.
Oh, bless you.
All right. So I
Bless
do
you.
want to take time to talk about the people that make this show happen. And what I mean by make that, they support the station, they support the network. There are baristas. We love them dearly. They give us ideas, thoughts, and things to cover. But also they put the money where the mouth is. Anywhere from a
Yes.
dollar a month to I think the highest tier is $10 currently. And that is our Patreon. You can find more information about that in the description. But thank you for your support. Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Shannon C, Shannon D, Joan Owens, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, and Tracy Vaughn, Kate Bell, and Devin. If you want to look more about our Patreon, you can do so by visiting our website, which is pcspnetwork.com.
And before we close up, can I
Uh-huh.
say, guys, we will be doing our next subjects sometime
Mhm.
this month where we'll be having a meeting. So
Right.
here's your opportunity to throw in comments on what you would like us to talk about.
Very
Because,
much so.
yes, you were here for us, but we are also here for you as well.
Very much so. We'd love your feedback on what you want to hear us talk about.
And
So,
nothing is silly, I can guarantee you.
no. And if it is, we'll have a strong cup of coffee and walk our way through it. All right,
As we've
guys.
said many a times.
Exactly. So, with that, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. I'm sitting down with a corporate real estate executive. We'll be talking all about real estate on the Psychic Coffee Shop, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'll be back here Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and
10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
good night, y'all.
Bye.